Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through probably my absolute favorite software in the real estate game, especially if you're into wholesale real estate, which I'm guessing about 95% of you that are watching this video. That's why you're clicking on this video, to figure out what's involved with this software. I'm going to walk you guys through every nick and cranny, at least to the best of my knowledge. I don't use it to its full effect, but I'll show you how I implement it into my own wholesale real estate business, why I've used it since day one, and obviously if you guys do have questions about it, please leave them in the comment section down below, whether you're watching this one day after I release it or 2 years. I promise I'll answer the questions to the best of my abilities. But with that said, let's hop into PropStream, that real estate software, and get the ball rolling. So the software that I'm going to be walking you guys through here today, you guys probably already know it from the title. It's called PropStream, and when I'm recording this video, I don't know what updates are going to take into effect by the time that you're watching this, whether it's 1 month down the road or 2 years down the road. It'll probably look different by then. But for those of you that are kind of on the edge about the software, I'm going to actually walk you guys through it. So overall, I'll kind of give the basics of it. Costs $97 a month, so that is an expense for your business. Obviously, that is a write-off because obviously that's what you can do with having a full business model, especially in the wholesale real estate space. It's $97 a month, and at any time if you guys want to go sign up, you can go click the link down in the description. Full discretion, if you do click that link, I do get a little bit of a benefit. Nothing crazy, but it would help support me, support the channel. So if you guys are thinking about it, I'd appreciate it if you click on that link down below. But I mean, we're really just hopping into it right now. As I'm filming this video in kind of the middle of 2020, there has been a couple updates that have taken effect. But basically, the best way of putting PropStream into kind of a summary is it's basically like an MLS for the entire country. So I really have used PropStream since day one. I've been doing it a little bit over a year now, the wholesale real estate game. I'm not a big person or anything like that. I don't do a ton of deals, maybe one a month at this point, but it is my full-time income. And so PropStream has literally helped me since day one to be able to actually close deals, in the terms of it's actually not giving me data to go ahead. Like, I haven't pulled records from it, which you can, but I'll show you kind of an example. The best way is just to honestly walk you through an example. So for me, I do a lot of cold calling. So every time that I need to pull a comp on something, I will go ahead and pull in the address. So I'm just going to go pull up one that I recently did, and I'm going to walk you guys through it. So you can basically put in the address. It'll obviously pre-fill, so that's a cool feature. Is if it's something close to the address, it'll a lot of the times recognize it, and especially if there's like townhomes, condos, they have like numbers on it. A lot of the times it'll go ahead and list them down here as well. So let me go click this. You can go ahead and click. It'll like show if this was like a condo with like 30. This is obviously like by itself. But if it was a condo with 30 condos in that complex, it'll show number 1, number 2, number 3. And if you know that person's address, you can go ahead and click on it. But we'll go over here to details. So obviously it'll give you a basic overview of the map, what it would look like, kind of like an overhead with a satellite view. You can get a kind of an approximate kind of idea. My market, it's really good. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. My market is really good for figuring out like the estimated equity. Depending on the state, there's some information is released. Like for here in my state, it's really hard to find like the bedrooms of a home because it's not public records. But some states, it doesn't always give the amount of equity or how much is left on the mortgage. So depending on your state, it could vary. But a lot of the times these numbers are decently close. They're usually not 100% accurate, but it'll give you a rough idea of where you need to be when you're making offers, when you're trying to figure out equity, seeing if it's actually even potentially a deal or not. But you guys can see here, this is a townhouse residential. It's worth probably around $240 for my market. Again, that's a really accurate number. But if that's not an accurate number for you in your market, when you go ahead and try to pull comps, there's 100 other things that will be accurate on that property. 2006 build, which is usually always accurate, and the square feet, which is usually pretty accurate. This one shows it's owner occupied. To be totally honest, the liens aren't always accurate. Again, it really depends on your market, but this is where I usually go details, and it'll basically give me a full report of the property. So again, it gives me everything that I just discussed, even the APN. Over here, the county, usually it's correct if there's a mortgage, there's estimated value, and it kind of shows you the appreciation or depreciation of the value. And again, it'll based on how much it estimates the mortgage to be based on monthly rents and stuff like that. It'll give you how much equity is in the property. So you can kind of use that to your advantage if you think it will be helpful to you to figure out if you should even spend time with these deals. But you guys can see here, the name is Elaine M. Weber. So a lot of times I put last name, first name, the mailing address. This is huge, especially if you're going ahead and sending direct mail. A lot of you that are watching this video are on that beginning stages of wholesale real estate. So you'll be going out there trying things like direct mail, especially handwriting letters. That's what I did in the beginning. If I need to know where to actually send that piece of mail, so let's say she didn't actually, like Elaine didn't live at this address, but she lives somewhere else, you need to be mailing that letter to actually where they live. And so this pulls it from county records. So this one shows that obviously she lives there. So this is going to be the same as the actual address. But if it's different, that's where I would mail my piece to, or whatever sort of marketing you're doing. That's how you can target. So that's basically property details. This, a lot of times, is pretty accurate. You can see it's exterior wood, just different things. I'm just kind of going through it as we walk through it together. This gives a lot about the land location. So it's a townhome. It'll give you different zoning. A lot of this stuff you don't really need, but it can show you if there's an HOA. So a lot of times this is accurate for me in the state of Arizona. So it'll show approximately how much the HOA fees. Usually it's a little bit less than what it actually is. And then it'll bring you down to like sale information. So I actually go to a different tab for that. So I'll just go tab by tab. So comparables and nearby. So this is probably the biggest part and the best part of this entire software, is using it to be able to comp properties. In my opinion, it's kind of that next level of Zillow, Redfin, all those kind of companies that are totally free to comp for. Some people use them and they work great. Again, it really depends on your market, and I hate to be that guy that says that, because if I was in your shoes, I'd be like, so is it in my market or isn't it? So in that case, I would just go look up addresses in your market and see what kind of data you pull. And a lot of the times, if you do have MLS access, you can kind of compare these, and I'll talk about why I still have this software even though I use the MLS. But a lot of the times, it'll give really good comps. Again, it really depends on the area. But you guys can see here, this is a newer feature where you can show public record and MLS. A lot of the times, I'll just click both. And so this will show addresses that have sold within the last couple months. And you can always classify how you want to do comps. So let's see here. You can do it based on the square footage. So if you want to stay within the comp based on 100, 200 square feet, you could put the minimum and maximum. You could do the distance. If you want to say, I only want 3-beds houses, you could do 3 and 3. So I'm not going to do that right now just because Arizona doesn't release that information on how many bedrooms, but it will bathrooms. And a lot of the times you can go ahead and click on these, which I'll show you in a second, to actually see that information a little bit more in depth. You can click on the status, property class, bathrooms, year built. So you can classify this exactly to how you need it to be able to go ahead and comp the property you need to. And a lot of the times it gets a little bit easier over time, but when I'm on the phones cold calling and I'm asking these people questions, a lot of people will talk a lot about their property. So while they're doing that, I'm going ahead, putting in the address and kind of looking up comparables and seeing. So obviously this is the number I'll always look at first to be able to see, hey, what am I wasting my time here? If they're on the phone with me saying that they're probably looking about 300,000, well, you probably don't have a deal unless you're going to do a creative kind of structure. Well, if they're on the phone, they're saying, yeah, I've seen homes go for 120 to 150, you probably got a pretty good deal on your hands, or something that you can actually be able to work with and not waste your time with. But these are basically the comps in the area. The ones in green, I think, well, some of them will say cash sale. So we could just look at this one right here. This is a comparable comp. 230,000 sold. For me, this is pretty close within the last month or two, 3/14/2020. 3-bed, 3 baths, 1,400 square feet. So mine is 16, so it always show your property at the top. 1 less bathroom, and then so this one might be an okay comp, but usually I like to always stay within the same bedroom. So if I want to go ahead and see that actual property, I'll go click on details. I'll have this pull up real quick. And just remember, I'm doing this while I'm on the phone. So if you want to do, especially in the beginning, like I couldn't do that while I was on the phone. I needed to go ahead and do my due diligence before I reached out. Totally fine. It happens in the beginning. So this one's actually owned by an LLC. So we can see what actually happened to it. It was bought in so they actually owned it for, okay. So it was bought by an LLC. I don't know what, they're probably going to rent it out or something. You guys can see it was a cash sale, $230,000, and then you can actually see the MLS details. So, yeah, it's actually active right now on the MLS for $1,585, and it'll show 3-bed, 3 baths if you guys want to confirm that information. So that's what I'll go ahead and do to be able to click on a comp. And you can use, obviously, when you filter, it'll be a lot less results than this, but you can kind of go down the list. These numbers on the map will match up with the numbers here. So we can go ahead and we can zoom in and see. So like my best comps are probably going to be 1, 8, 12, 16. So I can go ahead and look, because a lot of the times you don't want to cross major roads when being able to comp a property. So I'll try to stay as close as I possibly can within the same neighborhood, within the same couple of streets. And that's how I'll comp the property. There's some other tabs up here with, you can look at just like neighbors. You can also look at cash buyers around the area. So maybe you're dispoing, you're at the point where you're going to dispo this deal. Go ahead and you want to look at who bought the property all cash. Because a lot of the times the properties that were bought all cash in the area will obviously most likely be investors, probably 75% of the time or more. You can look at pre-foreclosures in that area if you wanted to pick up additional leads, ones that have liens, high equity. Again, use these to your discretion. Not the information, especially with like liens and bankruptcy, doesn't always update in my area. Sometimes I'll just randomly get leads where I'll go ahead and see that there's a $20,000 lien on there, and I'll hop on the phone and say there's a $20,000 lien on there. Sometimes I'll call and there's a $50,000 lien on there, and I'll call the homeowner and there's nothing on. Like they might not just know, but a lot of the times they'll be totally honest with me and say, yeah, there's no lien on the property. So always want to confirm as much information on the phone or text or however you're talking to this homeowner, using the data, comparing it with what they say. You can go to the tax tab over here. So if you need to look up like actual parcel information, especially if it's land, you can copy the parcel number from here. I've never had a problem. This pulls it directly from the county websites. Mortgage and transactions. So this is a really big tab that I use a lot as well. I won't use it to see like how much is on the mortgage, but I want to see the history of that home. So I want to see when they last bought it. So they bought this one 2009, financed it, just a normal homeowner. They actually got it from probably an auction, so it probably was a free pre-foreclosure. And a really cool part of this actual software is now you can actually pull documents. So I'll go ahead. We'll save this property. So if you want to actually pull this data from the actual county records and stuff like that, you can purchase this. So this report will cost $5. So you can actually see if you need to get paperwork for title or for whatever reason that I can't think of right now. There's probably 100 different reasons why you might need this document. You can go ahead and purchase directly from here. I don't know where it's pulling it from, and I don't know if you can get it free online, but it keeps it all in one, which is definitely a convenience factor. This will show me basically who their lender was. So there is good information. Even if you're not doing wholesale real estate, maybe you're a mortgage guy, maybe you're like some sort of refi guy, whatever it is in real estate, this software can help you. And then there's documents and reports out here. I haven't really used this tab, but you can mess around with it. You can purchase assessor maps, document image scans. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at this that much. Rental analysis is. So there's a lot of cool reports, and some of these are free too. You can go ahead and look up. But that's basically what I would use this software for, is mainly comping. If you guys have any questions about this part of actually comping a property, I go ahead and shoot the comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And you can print. I'm trying to think. So Another way that I actually use this software is to actually sometimes pull leads for free. So I'm gonna actually exit out of here. And so this is a way, if you don't want to pay for like data on list source, which obviously paying for data will get you a little bit better results. I've had good success with PropStream just pulling regular data, because a lot of the times data is just county records. This just helps me compile it all in one. But if I want to look for properties in the Phoenix area, so let's type in Phoenix right here. And we can go ahead and, so let's say I want to look at homes that are on the MLS right now. Again, use this data as best as you possibly can, but MLS data, pre-foreclosure data, I can go ahead and click on this and look at which are the pre-foreclosure pieces of information, like properties in pre-foreclosure, ones that are bought by cash buyers, ones that have liens on the property currently, ones that have vacant. And I can go ahead and compile this list right here. And what I can do is go ahead to the filter section and kind of go through this to be able to kind of find the properties. So if I want high equity, if I want properties bought by before 2000 and after 1955, I can go ahead and filter all that pieces of information right here. I'm not going to walk it through too much, because I just want to give you guys kind of my opinion more on the software, rather than just giving you everything, the nitty gritty about it. In the end of the day, this software has helped me immensely grow my business. So I forgot to mention, I was going to tell you guys why I still use this even though I have the MLS. So for me, I just like the software in terms of like how quickly it can pull all that information. A lot of the times with the MLS, and it depends on your state, MLS will obviously give me better data in terms of comping, but at a first glance, I will always go to PropStream, use it, and be able to kind of figure out what the situation of that homeowner is in. For me, the MLS in the state of Arizona gets a little bit, like it's a lot of tabs and everything, where here I can go ahead and just click and look at all the pieces of information. So for me, that's really justified. When I'm on the phones, that's how I do my marketing. I cold call every single day, all day. I need to be looking up this information within 2-3 seconds to go ahead and kind of ask the homeowner the right questions, because the difference between knowing some sort of piece of information, like asking if they do have a mortgage or not have a mortgage, or kind of assuming some piece of information, can kill deals. Knowing what you're talking about when speaking with the homeowner, having that confidence that you know exactly what they're dealing with, the kind of situation with it, the kind of situation they're in, just by a couple pieces of information will make or break that deal. I'm not using this as necessarily a sales pitch, but again, if you guys want to go ahead and check out the software, again, it's $97 a month. I can't promise it'll be like that forever. I don't own the software. I'm just an affiliate for it. So go click that link down below. I guarantee if you don't like it, try it out. It's $97 for the first month. You can cancel at any time. I wouldn't talk about it if I don't use it every day in my software. And again, if you guys have any questions, you guys can let me know in the comment section down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this content, a little bit more of a value piece on this channel, not just so much more of a vlog. But I'm going to be bringing live cold calling to you guys, so I hope you guys do enjoy that. Whenever you're watching this, go check out those other videos when they do come up, of some snippets of me going ahead and live cold calling, so you guys can kind of figure out how I do it. If you want to apply any of those strategies to your own cold calling, if you're doing that side of marketing, let me know your guys' opinion. I hope you guys do enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.